All of that. Yeah. Yeah. Wide grip pull-ups are probably the most useful for building a nice wide thick back, and then some bent over rows will develop the thickness in your back.
Yep. No,
you guys actually have a lot of details. I know that Myron put some stuff together, which we'll talk about, towards the end. That's like pre-packaged for you, but we'll get into more details there too later. Okay, so we covered the optics. Let's talk about money. So how important is money in your experience?
So, just like we talked about with looks, like, we tell guys all the time, you should be maxing out your looks. Money is very important, man. And that's kind of one of the foundations of why we made this course, was that we realized as you deal with more and more attractive women, they're accustomed to a certain type of level of man. You know what I'm saying? Especially here in Miami, where the hypergamy is on steroids. So to be able to compete with a lot of these rappers, celebs, or whatever it is, you kind of have to convey a certain lifestyle, you know what I mean? And that's done, unfortunately, through money. I always say that women don't necessarily care about money. They care about the freedom that money provides. You know what I'm saying? So if you're able to demonstrate that, a lot of girls will deal with you just off of the lifestyle that you portray. Like, women thirst trap with their bodies, men thirst trap with their lifestyle. And the money allows you to do that. Now, I know people in the chat are going to say, oh, Myron, you're simping. Oh, what's going on with you? Who cares? And my response to that is this, guys. You become high value and earn more money, not to get women, rather to not tolerate the BS that comes from dealing with women when you don't have money. And it creates a natural abundance mindset when you're financially stable, where you're not going to tolerate BS from women, and you're going to walk and move a certain way when you deal with them that can't necessarily be faked. And and I always say it, like, a man's confidence a lot of times comes from his competence and his accomplishments. So you need to be able to get these two things in check to get your confidence up, so you don't tolerate the BS from women. So, because as we know, right, Rich, you talking about all the time, chase excellence, not women, and men must become. Money is a very important component to a man's journey as far as becoming. So with finances, we definitely wanted to add this in to like kind of help guys with, like, basically getting like a basic understanding of personal finance. Credit cards, I'm really big into credit cards and leveraging them to get certain perks and making money. In 2020 alone, I made like thousands of dollars off of credit cards. This entire studio, I bought it with credit cards, and then what I did was I just paid it all off. So everything here is paid off, but I use a credit card to buy all this stuff so I can get thousands of dollars worth of rewards back. And I think that's something that not enough guys leverage. They're paying in cash and debit cards, which I think is, and Rich, this because you used to, get people out of debt. But yeah, credit cards, if you use them right, can definitely pay back some huge dividends. And then we're also going to be talking about crypto, how to start a business, how to form a business, LLCs, S Corp, so that Uncle Sam doesn't destroy you. We actually have our CPA, Steve, who's going to be handling the financial portion of the Zoom calls, because he's a licensed CPA down here in Florida, and he helps guys with getting their money right and mitigating their tax liability. So money's critical, man. You know what I mean?
Sure. I'll say this. I want to add to that, because you should really understand where you live. Like, your geography is going to matter when it comes to the amount of money that you make. If you live in a very expensive urban, coastal type of city, Toronto, New York, Miami, LA, the cost of living is very expensive. If you're making $100,000 a year, you're just average.
Yeah.
Like, you're nothing special. What you should be doing, depending on where you live, and you may or may not want to live there, for your entire life. I always tell guys to kind of move around and experience a little bit. I mean, you could be living like a king somewhere like Thailand or the Philippines, for example, or Colombia. But talking about North America, you should Google the city that you live in and understand what the top income earners make in that city, and then aim for the top 10%. So I know, here in Toronto, because I had to cover this for a private cast at one point for my community. I think the average income earner is like something like 378,000 or 380,000 or something like that. You want to aim for, at least, getting within the top 10% of income earners if you want to stand out from the crowds and be spoiled for choice and have the options to, get access to places like Entrepreneurs Organization, the Royal Canadian Yacht Club, like all of these high-end events. Like, when money allows you to do things, it allows you and gives you a get out of jail free pass card for certain places and exemptions. It allows you access to certain events that you wouldn't normally get access to. So you're not doing it to be like, oh, look at all my money sort of thing. But if you're casually hanging out with your boys, like I have a picture with me and 4 other my friends at the Royal Canadian Yacht Club in Toronto on the island with the Toronto skyline in the background with the sun coming down with some yachts kind of like in the Bay Area over there. And it looks cool as hell. I use that on my online dating game at the time, you know, when that picture was taken. And I didn't even try to do it. I wasn't even thinking like, how do you signal value? You know, how do you demonstrate this? It was just, that's where I was at that place and time. The picture came out great and it worked out well, right? Because you're surrounding yourself by excellence. Women look at that sort of stuff and they think to themselves, I want to be there. I want to insert myself here. Like they think to themselves, how do I insert myself in this part of the picture, right? And
Facts.
It's really as simple as that.
Yeah, you know, it's funny as well. A lot of coaches, right? I think coaches, but you know what? You need game only because they're trying to sell you something regarding game.
Right.
For the most part, think about this, right? What do women really want? They want to be a part of a good lifestyle.
Facts.
That's what they really want.
Yeah.
So what happens is, right?
Girls just want to have fun.
Yeah, girls just want to have fun. All money is a tool for you to have a certain lifestyle for yourself. And you know what? If she wants to be a part of it, better make sure she's cool and you can bring her into it. So for example, when you talk about money, right? What do you think about? You think about buying cars, houses, all that stuff. Yeah, that's cool and all. But guess what? It's a freedom of choice. So when you have money, like you said, Rich, you have options. So for example, certain events you can go to with a certain level of money, you wouldn't be invited to normally. For example, let's say you're a guy working a $50K a year job, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're not gonna get invited to like a mansion party or like a, you know what I'm saying? So when you have money, you have access. And then, for example, the friends that you have. So we've had a couple high net worth individuals here that have hella money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they say all the time, for example, we can get invited to parties based off the watches that we wear, cars we drive.
Yeah.
And when you're there, girls see that and you know what? I want to be part of that, like you said. And what happens is they'll do whatever they can to get your attention. And it's funny, when you have money, you can attract them to you. Now, obviously, you have to filter for gold diggers, of course.
Facts.
But for the most part, just having that buffer and being RP aware, and you have the money, you're gonna win.
You're unstoppable.
You're unstoppable. You become an unstoppable force in the marketplace because
now you know your worth.
Exactly, and you won't settle for anything that's gonna be less than you.
Which I always say, like, you know, red pill, like having game is like having dynamite, kind of, you know what I mean? And like if you move throughout the sexual marketplace without having like RP awareness, it's like playing with dynamite. And being RP aware also tells you when to toss that dynamite so it doesn't blow your arm off. So having that money will allow you to, you know, navigate the marketplace correctly and, you know, filter out the girls that just want to use you for your money. You know what I'm saying?
And Rich, that is the ultimate abundance mindset. When you have the money and lifestyle, and in the game, you're spoiled for choice. You become that hot female that guys want. You legit.
That's 21.